Hey internet! So today I wanted to do a video that I have been putting off for a long time because I just have felt like it's one of those videos where you're like, oh, I'm not quite ready to share it yet because I haven't quite gotten to the goal that I wanted to get to. But it's one of those ones where if you don't do it, you're never gonna do it, if that makes sense. Basically, as you can probably tell from the title, it is my weight loss journey. I hate saying like journey because it sounds really cliche and stuff, but the thing is, like, it has been a journey. Like, it's been a really long, hard journey. So for me, I've just had a goal weight that I've wanted to be at for probably like years and have never even got close to until now. And I basically recently have lost 10 kilos, which seems like a really big number and just seems bizarre to me, but I managed to do it, which is awesome. And I just never thought that I would be able to do that. So I wanted to do a video kind of sharing how I did it and my journey. I wouldn't say that I've ever been like fat, like really overweight, but I've definitely been heavier than I should be, and I've definitely been a bit chunkier than I'd like to be. And basically, after moving home from England and kind of being a bit sad for a while, I guess, I kind of got into this very big like self-help mindset, which you would have seen if you watch my videos. And yeah, just one of them was like, you know what, I really need to start getting into some kind of exercise routine or just healthier and fitter. That journey basically started because I worked in an office and I was just sitting around all the time, and I just kept feeling like all my clothes were really tight. I never felt like that confident or that good about myself. I just felt gross. So I joined a gym and went for a while, was trying to eat healthier, but I've never really been that good at being strict with my food because I just love food. So I would kind of be good for a bit and then let myself treat myself, and it would just always like, I might lose like a kilo or two, but that's as far as it ever went. So basically that was that. And then I started going to the gym with my friend Rachel, and we kind of said one day like, we should like get a PT for like X amount of weeks and just learn some stuff, because I was going to classes mostly very like strictly, and I got to a point where I was going all the time to these classes every week, which was good, but again, like, it wasn't necessarily like losing heaps of weight or anything, which I wanted to be doing. So we kind of thought if we see a PT, they could teach us some really good exercises that suit our goals, and obviously that will teach us to be able to do it ourselves and hopefully kind of get us more motivated and get us kick-started into trying to reach those goals. So we started doing PT in August 2018. So last August, decided like I was going to go very healthy on the food. And I think it's important to note that the food thing takes a while. Like, you can be on a diet. I don't think that diets work because you're always going to go back to your old ways if you don't see it as a permanent change. So if you hate lettuce and you force yourself to eat salads, you can either start to love the lettuce, or if you still just resent the lettuce and can't wait to stop eating it, that's never going to be sustainable for you because you don't like lettuce. So you need to find healthy alternatives that you can swap out of your diet that are going to be sustainable long term, that you're going to enjoy, and that you know you're gonna want to eat. So me personally, I've always eaten like a paleo diet because bread doesn't really agree with me. Gluten makes me a bit like stuffed up here and a bit stomach sick. Dairy breaks me out a bit. So as a general rule, I try and eat paleo, but I'm not like a Nazi on it. Mine was very strict for a while, like no sugar, no bread, no processed food at all. I was eating very healthy. Every time I'd go out, I'd make the healthier option choice, which usually was very healthy. I didn't really drink. So I was on a very like, I was like, I need to do this, so I just need to be strict for like 4 months. And never once was I like not enjoying eating stuff. I wasn't like punishing myself. It was very like a healthy way to do it, I think. We did personal training twice a week for an hour. We got measured at the start, then we did 5 weeks. Then at the end of those 5 weeks, he measured us again, but I didn't want to hear my measurements until the end of the next session. So we basically did another 5. Then he gave us a free week because we'd worked so hard, which was really sweet. And then at the end of the 11 weeks, we measured again and we got our measurements. And so that obviously was better than weight. During this time, I was working really hard. Like, we were going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week if we could, including the PT. So we'd do the PT twice a week, then we'd go like on our own again separately and do like some workouts. We were just working really hard. I was playing netball as well. Like I was trying to be really active, really healthy eating. Like it was my mission to lose this weight because I just was unhappy with myself and I wanted to get there. So this is what I mean by like the journey. And during the first few weeks, I'd lose a bit and then I'd kind of put a bit back on. I was always weighing myself and he was saying like, I'm not worried about you getting to a certain weight. Like it doesn't matter. It's all about the measurements. But I wanted that for me. Like I needed to get to this number. I don't think that weight is that necessarily important. Like it doesn't matter because it is about how you feel, the measurement thing, because obviously like you're putting on muscle if you're doing a lot of weights and stuff. So the weight thing isn't necessarily important. But anyway, for whatever reason, I had this goal and I wanted to reach it. So he said he'd get me there. And our PT was honestly just so great. He was very supportive. He helped me with my food. Like I did some macro counting for a while, which I won't go into, but it's basically like calorie counting. Like I really wanted to make sure I was getting the right amount of everything and obviously working off more than I was eating. And I don't stick to that now. Like I don't really think that that's long-term sustainable either, but if you are trying to lose weight, it can help. There's a really cool app called MyFitnessPal where you log all your food and it just helps you track like maybe you don't eat as much protein or maybe you don't eat as much fats today, or you know, that kind of stuff. But I honestly found like paleo worked best for me, and I think it's hard to say everyone should do a certain diet. I think certain ways of eating work for different people and different body types, so you just have to find what's right with you and trial some stuff. So with my weight fluctuating up and down, I was just very disheartened. It was really hard to stay motivated, but I just kept going and I was really proud of myself. Like I'd never been so committed to the gym before. I would go after work, I would go before work, I would go on weekends. I don't think it was an unhealthy obsession, it was a dedicated thing and I worked really hard for it. So at the very start of this in August 18, I weighed 77 kilos and my goal for years had always been 65. In my head, 65 was like a real healthy weight. So 65 was just the goal and I thought like that's pretty big, that's a big deal kind of thing. So the end of the 11 weeks, we got our measurements back and I basically lost about 2 centimeters on each arm, like around my bicep. And they really evened out. Like at the end, they were both the same measurements, which was good. Around my waist, I lost 6 centimeters. So that was crazy to see that. Like that was obviously really good compared to the weight because again, my weight kept fluctuating. But to see that I'd lost 6 centimeters was really encouraging. My thighs, I lost about 3 centimeters around each thigh. I lost 3.5 centimeters around my butt, and then in my calves I lost about 4.5 centimeters on each calf. So all in all, really good weight loss measurements. The weight itself, I think I'd hit 70 and then that was like 7 kilos, so that was awesome. And I just really wanted to keep going. My friend Rachel was kind of like, 11 weeks of PT, like I'm pretty done with it, like I'm happy to just go do my own thing now. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep seeing him because I really want to hit 65 and I know if I go on my own, like I don't think I'm ready yet. So I think I did another 5 weeks, maybe even a bit longer. And I went right up until December, like the start of December when I was about to go to England. And I remember the day I was leaving for England, it was like my last PT session. I got on the scales and it went from 66.2 or something to like 65.9. So it was like a few hundred grams and I was like, oh god, like I just want to be 65. And basically for so long I was so determined it had to be 65 and it just was never. So then when it hit 66, I was actually like, you know what, I'm happy with that, that's awesome, that's great. So we were like, yay, that's awesome. I was really paranoid that I'd go to England, eat a bit unhealthy, not go to the gym and put the weight back on. So I was very scared. I ended up losing weight while I was in England, don't know how. Then obviously I put some on over Christmas, I think like 2 kilos. But then when I got back, started eating healthy, going to the gym, within a week I was back to 66. And then yeah, recently I have maintained 65. So I've hit my goal. I'm honestly super happy. For a while, like when I first started losing it, people would say to me like, oh my god, you look really good, you look really slim, have you lost weight? And it was a really nice thing to hear because you don't see it in yourself, like you really don't notice it. It wasn't honestly until I did my recent video where I was trying on my old clothes that I was gonna donate on Chuck that I realized like how much I'd lost. Like all of it was so baggy and it used to be so tight. And even though people were saying like, oh you look slim and stuff, I'd be like thanks, but I just still feel a bit chunky. Like it is fully in your head, like you just don't you don't notice it in yourself. So it took me a really long time to actually be proud of myself, but now I've finally reached my goal, and I can honestly say, like, I look back and I think, like, I worked really hard. I'm really happy with it. So we got there, yay. So I'm just gonna insert a little video. I took a video at the start when I was like at my heaviest, which is very unattractive, so my apologies. Then I took one when I was 5 weeks in, and one when I was at the end, like recently, when I'd lost most of it. I think I was like 67, 68 kind of thing. So I think you can like really see the difference in, obviously at first it's like a little bit and then it's a lot. These are my kind of like recent ones before and after that I'm just really proud of and really happy with. And I think as long as I maintain the 65, I'm still going to the gym a healthy amount. That's really good. So overall, obviously there's no secret to losing weight. You kind of just have to find what works for you. I think the general rule is make sure you're eating just healthily and cleanly, and like work out what works for you and stick to it and be dedicated to it. Like, tie yourself to that decision. Eating healthy doesn't have to be depressing. You don't miss things once you start. Like, if you dedicate yourself to it, there's so many cool recipes out there and like healthy alternatives that aren't depressing. Like, you don't have to just eat salads. I feel like I'm very creative with food and it's still healthy. So definitely like do your research, trial some different things, find what works for you, and you don't have to be depressed. And I honestly also think that if you're not that good with exercise and you don't really like exercise, try out a PT, because mine just really helped me. He really taught me a lot about exercise, what to do and what not to do, helped me like write up some programs that would help. So just starting out with a PT, even if you just do a few sessions, you kind of get the hang of it, you kind of get the gist, and they really help to motivate you. So like, I definitely owe a lot to my PT, so I'm really grateful for him and I'm really glad that I did that. Also, obviously YouTube, there's so much on YouTube that can help you out if you have no idea. There's so many YouTubers who do fitness and there's just a lot of great stuff out there. So if you are wanting to do it, don't be discouraged by the scales. Don't be discouraged if you make a mistake or if you eat a burger every now and then. Like, we all kind of go through this struggle. And don't be too hard on yourself, which is so hypocritical because I really have been. But I'm happy now and I'm really glad that I did it, and I'm really determined to maintain it and even maybe get to 60 if I really try and get my shit together, but we'll see. I'm happy with where I am now. I'm really glad I did it. And yeah, that is just kind of a huge achievement for me that I haven't given myself enough credit for. So I wanted to share it in this video. So I'm really sorry if I rambled on and this video is way too long, but I just wanted to share my journey. I love videos like this. I'm really proud of myself. If you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I try to make videos every week. Sometimes I'm a bit shit, but that's fine. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!